Hey, how you doing? Robert King here, owner of Harmony Homes Residential Assisted Living Facility and founder of Assisted Living University known as ALU. And today communication is going to be about how do you make money owning a residential assisted living facility. Show me the money. So now listen, many of you already know my story. Many of you have heard my story before. I have no formal training in caregiving. I've never been a caregiver before, and nor do I have any formal medical training or background. And some of you may know me as Dr. Key. Well, I have a double honorary doctorate degree, one in ministry and one in business administration, and I appreciate the honor of being acknowledged in my field. But none of that prepared me to own and operate a residential assisted living facility. So I just want you to know that I have no special training, no special background, nothing that makes me want to be in this industry that's from my past. And I've shared my story on many occasions that this entire career was birthed out of adversity. It's just amazing how life has the ability to throw you a curveball. You know what I mean? And I remember very well April 2013. Life was doing great. My ministry was exploding. At that time, I was the founding pastor of one of Southwest Florida's fastest growing churches. I was co-pastoring my church with my then wife, and we had relocated here to Florida, didn't know anybody, and in 5 short years we were blessed to have over 500 members, and life was great. We had purchased our own building in 2010 after just 2 short years in ministry. And then in 2012, we had established a second location on the other side of town. The ministry was growing, business was growing. I mean, life was absolutely amazing. Then I got a call that my mother has taken ill, and I had to go home and spend time with her. So April 2013, I left Florida and left my then wife in charge of the ministry. I mean, she was co-pastoring, so the people were used to her being up front teaching the word of God. And while I was gone for, say, the whole month of April. But while I was gone, they had no idea what was taking place. You know, the calm before the storm, so to speak. And so I come back home May 2013, only to discover, to my total devastation, that my then wife was committing adultery, and that relationship had catapulted into bringing the individual into our personal home, and that devastated me, that rocked me. And in the midst of all of that going down, there was a split. If you know anything about churches, there was a split in my church, and so our ministry had went from 500 plus members to maybe 50, 60 showing up. And I was devastated, man. I was just totally distraught about the whole situation. So I suspended church service and filed for divorce. And in 2014, it's like a blank to me, because I went on this sabbatical. I was mad, I was hurt, I was angry, I was upset, I was vengeful. I just couldn't believe that God had allowed this to happen to me, one of his generals. And so I was devastated. And so all of 2014 was very challenging for me. And I'm just telling you my story because I want you to know that, you know, wherever you are right now, I feel you. You know, I feel your frustration. Maybe you worked 20 years on a job and then they laid you off, and so you've been devastated. I feel you. Maybe your situation wasn't in my same arena, you know, a dissolve of a marriage, a destruction and dissolve of a church. Maybe that's not your situation, but whatever it is, I feel you. and what you're going through, because I know it because I felt the same way. And all of 2014, I was dealing with my feelings. And so I felt the same way that you may have felt before. But let me tell you what I found out. I found out that there is advancement through adversity. I don't mean to preach, but I just want you to know, I need you to be where I was so you can appreciate where I'm at. There's advancement through adversity, even in your life. Whatever it is you're going through, there's advancement through adversity. Where did my advancement come in? This is where my advancement came in. I remember distinctly in 2014, around August, September, a very good friend of mine who happens to now be the business administrator for the Harmony Homes Corporation. She mentioned group home. One day in a conversation, she was probably ministering to me as I was going through my pain, and she mentioned something about going to a group home over in Georgia to speak to the young ladies about self-esteem. And those two words, group homes, they just marinated with me. They stayed with me all night. And I remember at 2:48 in the morning, I woke up and I had group home echoing in my head. So I began to research, and I'm telling you, listen, at that time I had no income, very little money saved, challenged every month to pay the bills. I was bankrupt. I was spiritually bankrupt, physically bankrupt, mentally bankrupt, socially bankrupt. I was embarrassed. I was persecuted. I was beat down. It was so many emotions that I was going through. But in the midst of all that adversity, I heard the voice that said group home, and I began to research, and I discovered that residential assisted living facilities was a very good business. Again, I knew nothing about it, but I researched and I discovered that the need was there. I discovered that 4,000 people a day are turning age 85 in America, and 70% of those people are going to need assistance with their daily living. Are you listening to me? So the business opportunity, through my research, even in the midst of my pain and my tears and my hurt, through my research, that adversity popped up, and I realized that I can get involved in this business. I have a home. So listen, you think about it. I had a piece of real estate, a house that I had won through the divorce, and big, beautiful 4-bedroom home. And what do you do with real estate? Me being a real estate man, I've sold real estate before. There's only a couple things that you could do with real estate to make income. Number one, you could rent it. So I thought about renting it, but I realized that if I rent it, I was only going to make a couple $100 extra a month. That wasn't enough. I was looking for a source of income. So then you could sell it. But I realized that the market still hadn't turned, so selling it would not give me enough income to sustain me for any length of time. Then the other choice was I could lease it. Same scenario as renting. But it just wasn't enough money coming in. And so I began to explore residential assisted living facility. An ability and a way to make residual income. Somewhat passively, because I'll explain to you how you could build your business where you don't have to be there every day. And so through that adversity, that advancement came, and I began the process of opening my facility, not knowing anything. And that's where Assisted Living University was birthed, because I went through all the trials and tribulations of opening a facility, and now I want to shorten your learning curve. I want to show you how through any form of situation in life you can get up again. And you really too can get some advancement through some adversity. So today, that's my story. Like they say, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So today, I'm only going to talk about the income. I'm not going to talk about the overhead. I'm not going to talk about the operating expenses. I'm going to talk about the income. How you can make money once you understand the opportunity. All right, you with me? So we're going to talk about this blueprint to owning your own residential assisted living facility. I'm going to take my time, but let me explain to you. There are 4 different business models. I'm not going to go through all of them today on this communication. I'm going to go straight to business model 4, which is the residential assisted living facility. You may hear me say ALF. ALF just simply means assisted living facility. So what is an assisted living facility? It's a building, a place that's designed and created for the assistance with people who need assistance with their daily living. People who could no longer, cook their own food. They can no longer wash their own clothes. They can't remember to take their medication. They can't drive anymore. They can't remember to go to their doctor's appointments. They don't know how to cook for themselves. They can't do any of those things for themselves anymore. And so they need assistance with their daily living. And that's what an assisted living facility is. You may remember the nursing homes. And then there's retirement centers and there's independent centers. There's a whole bunch of different names, but the common denominator is that they assist people who now needs help with their daily living. So we're not talking about residential assisted living as the big boys. See, the big facilities are the 400 beds and 300 beds and 100 beds and 40 and 50 beds in that facility. Well, residential is just that. It's a house. Like my home. I wanted to take what Satan meant for bad and turn around for good. I wanted to take something that had no harmony in it and turn it around into something that would benefit somebody else. I didn't want to just sell it and get rid of it. I wanted to do something to turn this thing around. So I took my resident, my home, just like you could do your home, or you can do a home that you rent, or a home that you lease, or a home that you own. You could take a residence, a regular home, and turn it into an assisted living facility. So with that in mind, let's talk about business model 4, which is 8 residential assisted living facilities. I'm talking about 8 bedrooms. Let me change it. Let me make it correct. I don't want to confuse you. You don't have to have 8 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, forgive me, 4 bedrooms where you can put 8 residents. 4 bedrooms. And the state here in Florida would allow you to put 2 residents in one room. That's a shared room. And so you have 4 bedrooms with 8 residents. Let me show you the kind of money you can make in this industry. Now remember, everything when it comes to real estate is all about location. Location, location, location. So there are some facilities, residential, ALFs, that are in a location that demands more premium, just like anything. And then there are some that's based on their location can't get as much. So they range anywhere from this $1,500 a month all the way to $10,000 a month. These facilities all do the same work. Some different in different facilities, but for the most part, they take care of people's daily needs. But this range from $1,500 a month to $10,000 a month has a lot to do with your location. So what we're going to do for purposes of training, I'm going to use my facility here in Southwest Florida as an example, and I'm going to go right in the middle at $3,000 a month. Okay, let me explain to you what that means. That means I can charge for my services $3,000 a month from each residence that comes into my home. Each residence that comes into my facility, licensed legally by the state, I can charge, and it's a very compatible rate to the community, $3,000 per month for my services. You're getting this. Are you already beginning to see how what we're talking about? Remember, I'm talking about business model 4, where you can have 8 residents in one home. Is the math coming together now? So let me show you this. Using the template, $3,000 per month per residence. Let's watch this. 8 residents. And we call them residents, not clients, not patients, not customers. They're residents. It's just like you had a family member that come live with you. They're residents. They come to live with you. So 8 residents times, remember our motto, $3,000. monthly. Watch this. $3,000 monthly times 8. Oh, let me put the equal. Equals $24,000 a month. Let me stay right there for a minute because I know you probably already, through your computer. Yeah, you just took your computer up and threw it across the room. Yes, in this business model 4, based on the average location. No real fancy zip code location, no high rent district, but just a really nice home in a really decent neighborhood. For your services, you can charge $3,000 a month for each residence. And if you have 8 residents, you're talking $24,000 per month that comes into your home. I do not know of another business model like that. That is why I call this at the Assisted Living University, we call it America's Untapped Business Opportunity. Because listen to me, this is called I like to do this. Income. Because it's really coming in. This is called income. Now, depending upon how you set your particular business up will determine how active you are involved, will determine if you're there every day, if you hire management, administrators to run it for you every day. But you will literally, based on your location, you will go, it wouldn't be a max. I can charge more as cost of living increases, but I really got to stay close to this amount monthly of $3,000 because of my location. So let's just stick to that. I don't want to have you go too low, and I don't want to have you go too high. And remember, I can't promise you any results. This is strictly a business opportunity that could have this kind of potential growth for you. Anybody telling you about a get rich quick, that ain't what this is. This is a business. And let me put a pin in it right here, like my pastor used to say. Let me put a pin right here and pause for a minute. This business is very profitable. But I want to bag it up and say that in order for you to really sustain a quality business, you got to have the purpose and the passion to do what you do. That makes sense? The profits are there. I was always taught this. If you have purpose plus passion, it will equals profit. So that just simply means that if you're going to get involved in this business, you're really going to have a purpose. You got to determine, what is my purpose? Is your purpose to care for the elderly? Is your purpose to care for the handicapped? Is your purpose in caring? You may be watching this and you're working in the healthcare field. I love you people. You are amazing. Your patience is absolutely amazing. I've watched you do what you do year after year after year, from one patient to another patient to another patient. All I'm simply saying is that probably is your purpose. And I've watched you do what you do, and I can tell it's passion. You're passionate about the care that you give to others. Now, if you mix the two together, you probably make a good living where you are, but it's not a passive residual income, because you have to show up every day for long hours to make the income you do. But here, if you follow your purpose passionately, with all the passion that you have, the profits will follow. So in this case, yes, you can make a ton of money while you're helping the elderly, but you got to be passionate about what you're doing. We're not talking about you fixing somebody's car. We're talking about a person's life, and you literally changing their life. Okay, so now check this out. Check this out. Let's go a little bit further. So we got 8 residents in your 4-bedroom home, 2 residents per room, $3,000 a piece, helping them with their daily living. $3,000 per month, $24,000 per month. income, all derived from purpose, passion, which is now adding up to your profits. Listen, I love the fact that right now, as I'm recording this video, my home, Harmony Home, our first residential assisted living facility, is currently licensed for 8 in Southwest Florida, and we have 6 right now. Upon the day of this recording, we have 6. But on Friday, we have another young lady moving in with us, which will make our 7th residence. Let me tell you how quickly this thing can turn around for you. You heard the old phrase, you build it, they will come. Well, October 2015. Right now, this recording is taking place, March 2016. So October 2015, we got licensed for 8 as a residential ALF. Now here it is, March 2016, we have 6 residents. And each one of my residents pay an average of $3,000 per month. That's the average. And then next week we'll have residence number 7. And by the end of April, we'll have residence number 8. We'll be a full house. And it didn't even take us a year to make that happen. Why? Because the need is there. Every day, 4,000 people are turning age 65 in America. I'm sorry, every day, 4,000 people are turning age 85 in America, and 70% of those people are going to need assistance with their daily living. So, oh my God, this thing is amazing. This opportunity for you is amazing. Now, let me take this thing a little bit further, one step further, okay? We got there, right? We understand that it has to be a purpose behind this. It's just not about bringing in some people and taking care of them and just making a bunch of money. No, you're going to do well while you're doing good. Yeah, you're going to do very well financially while you're doing good. And I got to tell you, man, this thing really helps my spirit to have them elderly people lay down in bed at night and look up to you in your eyes and thank you for helping them, and thank you. Listen, some of these people don't even have family anymore. They've outlived their family. Some of them family doesn't even care about them anymore, and so you become their family. You know they bad, the good, the ugly. You understand them. And that's, boy, my God, you talking about a gratifying feeling. That's amazing. Not to mention that the bank account grows as well. Anything worth doing is worth getting paid for. So now check this out. Here we go. 8 residents, recapping, in your 4-bedroom home. And don't worry about that. If your home ain't big enough for 8, you can have 6 residents. You can have 7 residents. You can have 5 residents. You can have 3 residents. You can have 2 residents. You can have 1 residence and bring in an extra $3,000 a month if you want to. It's up to you. But before you go commercial and start getting all of the commercial zoning involved, you can stay residential and stick with 8. 8 residents you care for on a daily basis. $3,000 a month per residence, average, not low, not high. $24,000 a month. Well, you take that $24,000 a month times 12, $288,000 a year. I hope you can see that. I hope I wrote it big enough for you. $288,000. Can you see that? $288,000 annually is what you can bring in with 1 residential ALF. That's why we call it America's untapped business opportunity. So I hope this thing bless you today. I really do. And I just want to encourage you to understand that you can do this. I'm no different than you. I promise you, you probably a whole lot smarter than me. I'm no different than you. I just saw a business opportunity. And I got to be honest with you, completely honest. One thing that you'll learn about me, if you follow me and work with me, and as I help you open up your facilities all over the United States of America, you'll discover I'm very transparent. I'm going to teach you the bad, the good, the ugly. I'm going to teach you the mistakes I made. I'm going to teach you the wrong things I bought. And I'm going to teach you the money that I spent that I shouldn't have to have spent. I'm going to teach you the things that I did so I can shorten your learning curve so you can do this. Because I'm telling you, I promise you, you're probably smarter than me. What makes you and I a little bit different is that so far at this point, I've seen the opportunity and I implemented it. One thing that I do is that I implement when I find something that I believe is going to work, I go for it. You can go for this, but I went for it blindly. There was nobody to direct me out there, and I had to make this thing happen on my own through trial and error, and that's where Assisted Living University was birthed, so that you can do the same thing I'm doing. Now listen, I'm never going to promise you to make $1 million. But what I will promise you is this. If you can get one home and put 8 residents in there and average $3,000 a month per residence and bring in $24,000 a month, and let's assume, for argument's sake, it cost you $12,000 a month to run the facility. All right? Payroll, staff, food, utilities, mortgage, all this stuff. We'll talk about that in more detail in another communication. But let's just assume, for argument's sake, that it cost you $12,000 a month to run a facility. Well, $12,000 a month is left over. So let's assume that you took $4,000 of that and put it aside and saved it for your retirement or for, company savings in the event something break in the house. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, one thing I can share with you is that you have a potential to make $100,000 a year. One house. I don't know very many opportunities that is available with such great passion and purpose. But you have to decide whether or not it's for you. What I will tell you is that if you decide that you want to get involved in becoming an owner of a residential assisted living facility, that I want to make myself available as an ALF opener to share with you everything you need. You will not go at it alone. Take my hand. Walk with me, and I will lead you to the same direction. And let me tell you my goal. My goal with Harmony Homes is I see this thing now. My goal is 10 homes in 10 years. Our company, Harmony Homes Care Incorporated, we're going to open 10 homes in 10 years. Same model, 8 residents. We love that 8 residents model because it's real intimate. You get to really know the residents. It's not too big and not too busy and not too loud. And they're not going to be sitting in the hallway in a wheelchair waiting to get service. No, that 8 resident, real intimate model is what I love. And so our goal as a company and as the founder is 10 homes in 10 years. That would secure not just my financial future, but my children's financial future and my grandchildren's financial future, because the need will always be there. But your goal may not be that big. Your goal may be to get off your job and replace your income. You may have been working hard for a long time. You may be making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 a year. But the work that you have to put in for that kind of income will eventually wear on your body, or you just may get tired of doing it. I want to show you how to replace that with a business opportunity that will last forever. It won't shut down unless you shut it down. So forget about making $1 million. What about just making an extra $5,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month? Again, this is no hype. This is no get rich quick. This is no scam and you got it. No. This is a legitimate, real, licensed, professional business opportunity that you may just be becoming aware of, but it's been here a long time. And I'm going to be the guy to help you get where you need to go to build your business. If in fact you'll allow me to service you. If you allow me to serve you, it'll be my privilege to help you. Now let me tell you what my goal is with Assisted Living University, ALU. is that I want to be directly responsible for 1,000 people throughout the United States opening up their facilities. I figure if I can be directly responsible for helping somebody open, own, and operate a residential assisted living facility, my legacy would be intact, and I would have done something with my life. I can't open 1,000 myself. I can't run 1,000 myself. I don't even desire to run 1,000. I just want 10. But I want to help 1,000 other people open, own, and operate a residential ALF and do good while doing good for others. Do well for themselves while doing good to others. Secure their spot in life and leave a legacy for their family. Now, you may aspire to open more once you get the first one open. That's your decision, but I want to help you with that first one. And so, if this teaching right now has helped you, if this communication that I'm having with you right now has helped you in any kind of way, let's share the word. Let's get the word out there. For whatever format that you're watching this on, go ahead and make a comment, like the teaching, and also share it. One of the most important things you could do other than just making comments and liking it is sharing it. Because when you share it, you're saying to other people, hey, check this out. So there may be somebody in your life, in your circle, in your company, in your business, friendship, in your fraternity, in your sorority, that you know they're looking for something to do to change their financial status, and something to do that will help benefit mankind overall. If that's the case, I may not be able to reach them, but you have an obligation now to share this information with them. I may not be the guy. They may not like me. You may not even like me, but that's all right. I'm going to do what I believe my purpose is. And my daddy taught me a long time ago, there are going to be some people in your life that for some particular reason or another, you just don't click with them. You just, for some reason, you know how it is. You meet somebody and for some reason you don't like that person. You don't even know them, but you just, for some reason, you don't click with them. You don't jive with them. You don't groove with them, or whatever the word is. It just ain't there. My dad told me this a long time ago. He says, eat the fish and spit out the bones. What I mean by that is that there's something you can learn from everybody. Even if for some reason you don't like them, or you don't jive with them, or you just don't click with them, or something about them is wrong and they rub you, whatever the case may be, you can learn something from them. So I say, if for some reason you and I don't click, I'm going to make sure I provide you with quality content that's going to change your life. So eat the fish, like my daddy said, and spit out the bones. And if you can do that, together, we can change your life and the lives, watch this now, and the lives of at least 8 people that come into your home. Listen, this time, don't forget now, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get more teaching like this. Make sure you like us. I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. Follow us. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, everything. I'm out there all over. Make sure you find a way to attach to me so I can keep feeding you. You're going to have to be fed. This is a new industry. This might be a new industry to you, so you got to be fed. I'm going to give you all the research that you need. I'm going to direct you and guide you, so eventually one day that light comes on and you say, man, I could do this. That Robert King guy is right. I can do this, and with his help and his guidance, he can help me make this thing happen. So I'm going to close with this, and I don't care what your belief is. I mean, you know, you believe what you believe, that's on you. I'm not going to bother you. I wear my believe bracelet. I believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Listen, eat the fish, spit out the bones. You can believe what you want to believe. I ain't trying to convert you right now, but all I'm saying is this. This is how I live my life. This is the motto that I live by. And I'm going to say it every time I close. So every time you hear me, I'm going to say this motto. Now, you can use it. You can let it marinate with you. You can eat the fish and spit out the bones. But here's how I close every communication I have with you. And it's very simple. When your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God becomes obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know that is critical to your success and destiny in life. Let me say it again just so you can marinate on it. When your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God becomes obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know that's critical to your success and destiny in life. I think I'll slow it down for you. When your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God becomes obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know that is critical to your success and destiny in life. God bless you. Stay tuned. See you next week.